Green flag from the back. A little bit of a look down to the side of the motorcycle there. On the rev limiter, the Dunlop Animal motorcycle gets outdone as we go into turn 1. It is indeed. So Brendan Roberts gets a great hole shot there and leads through Seat for the first time. I'll tell you what, I held my breath at the top of that hill then.
Dunlop Animal bike. If Billy McConnell there just diving under someone at Scotsman.
Yeah, through into third place then. But it is 42 from John Boy Lee. John Boy Lee in second place on bike 78. So 42 is Brendan Roberts, John Boy Lee on 78. And then Billy McConnell on 75 on the Dunlop Animal machine.
John Boy Lee, talented young rider. He's only small, probably one of the smallest riders on the grid here, and his power to weight ratio certainly makes a difference.
I don't know whether that makes a lot of difference on most of this track, but it will do coming out of this hairpin going up the hill. Big time.
Dead right here. Brendan Roberts, I know, is slipping the clutch in second gear to get out of the hairpin. John Boy Lee probably doesn't have to do that, can just drive with his weight being a bit less than Brendan Roberts.
As we see there, John Boy Lee then powers up alongside Enter Seat, and that was all done, as Mackenzie has already told us, on powder weight.
Well, I know everything, don't I? I wish.
You correct me enough at the time.
John Boy Lee, good rider. I met him the other night. One of my kids was riding at Priory Park mini motor track near Tamworth. John Boy Lee is from Cannock, but nice lad. And the young kid did 125 season a couple of years ago. A lot of talent, and a rider with a great future.
Tommy Bridewell back in fourth place on bike number 18. Watch out for Tommy Bridewell. That was not the best of starts for him. He's just off the leading trio at the moment, but
here he comes.
Yeah, here he comes. Here comes the Dunlop Animal machine as well in third place. The series leader, Billy McConnell. Still off the front though. John Boy Lee on 42. In fact, that's not. It's Brendan Roberts, of course, on 42. John Boy Lee on 78 in second. It's 78 that does lead. What's happened to me there? I fell off at the hairpin, Neil.
And you can see John Boy Lee just get tenths of a second on that straight, just because he can drive out that hairpin nicely.
Horsepower and weight makes a hell of a difference. In fact, the father of the Virgin Mobile Cup used to suffer from that problem. Rob Mack. He was always a little heavy for 500cc Grand Prix racing, and his sector times would be absolutely superb, and then you'd get him on a big long straight and he'd just go backwards through all the drag his huge frame caused.
Somewhat of a moment there coming out of the chicane, but yeah, we've got to say that the opposition always said Rob Mack drafted like a truck.
You're not wrong. I remember it well. No jump starts, it says on my monitor here. That's a good thing. So the race is the race. John Boy Lee at the hairpin again. Still Brendan Roberts in second place. Still Billy McConnell in third place. Tommy Bridewell in fourth place, sorry, on bike 18. Then in fifth place is the other Australian, David Anthony.
David Anthony qualified in fifth.
Connor Cummins has slipped back down to seventh place. He was looking pretty good as well, but he's been overtaken by number 51, Matthew Whitman, on the Darragh Motorsport Yamaha. Lap 4 of 22. Quite a long race, actually. Quite a demanding race for these youngsters. With 22 laps, don't sound like a lot. Whoa! Big
Billy
one there.
Sideways out chicane.
Away. Just spat him straight off of that. Luckily, not caught up with the bike. He's a tough little Australian, but really, it don't come much bigger than that. He was on the gas. Talk us through it, Neil.
You can see him, yeah, exiting out here, second gear probably, just trying to squeeze the power on these D208 Dunlops, and just sideways. He had no warning whatsoever. Billy McConnell is a rider with a lot of feel, really unlucky to be caught out.
I'll tell you what.
Fortunately, he looks like he's in one piece.
That hit the ground very hard. He is going to have
Look at the gap behind Brendan Roberts now.
They saw the dust in the air and reversed out of it. So these two, John Boy Lee leads. Brendan Roberts, fastest lap so far in the race. A 54-second, almost dead.
And that's very close to qualifying, sorry. 4/10 outside the qualifying time. Billy McConnell did a 54.4 in qualifying.
And it's a 54.8 now. Still John Boy Lee doing the right-hander at the top of the hill. And through Clark onto Hislops and down towards the Real Radio hairpin, as it's been renamed. This right hand, let's have a look and see just how much of an advantage he has on power
you see.
Tell you what, Roberts was using all the track.
Try and use a bit of track, because if he can keep that bike at an angle, then it keeps the gearing low and it allows him to get out of there. Whereas John Boyle picks the thing up and just fires himself out of there. But you see Brendan trying to squeeze a little bit on the brakes everywhere.
That's interesting you should say that. Ron Haslam taught me that trip years ago. The rolling circumference of the outside of the tyre is, of course, a lot less than the middle of the tyre.
Yeah.
So therefore, it has the effect of giving you a lower gear.
Oh, what Brendan has to do now is just
Brendan's quick through all that section, though.
He is, yeah, looks good. But his main opposition, certainly as far as the championship goes, is out of the race at the moment. So Brendan Roberts had a DNF at Croft, so that'll be one of the results he has to drop. He also had the 12th, I think, at Brands that he'll drop. Billy McConnell has now had his worst result of the championship, so he will drop
that one. Jimmy Hill is out. Number 4, Jimmy Hill, younger brother of Tommy Hill, is a faller also at the chicane. So John Boy Lee, Brendan Roberts, Tommy Bridewell.
He's doing a good job in third, Tommy Bridewell, considering he had to avoid the carnage of Billy McConnell.
Well, we've got a new player, as far as I'm concerned, in Matthew Whitman.
Yes.
We haven't said anything about Matthew Whitman in the past, not to my knowledge anyway. Derrick Motorsport are his sponsors. Matthew Whitman looking very good in 4th place at the minute on bike number 51. So keep an eye out in the back of our frame. Up and over the chicane they come. On towards Clark. I like this right-hander.
You like it?
Yeah, I always like that right-hander when I rode it.
It's a good corner.
Yeah.
It is. It does have a late apex. You have to get a late apex, so when you come out, you're heading straight for the next left of Hislops. If you run in there, if you run in earlier, then you come out wide and you have to make a right then a left to get onto Hislops.
Oh,
Billy,
on
careful
the
with
paint.
that clutch, mate.
That thing was spinning and...
maybe not so much grip on the paint as he thought there was.
Well, he was asking a lot, wasn't he, really?
You know, Tommy Bridewell's
He's closing in, big time. He really is closing. He put his fastest lap of the race in just a bit earlier. There's Jimmy Hill in pit lane. Yeah, Tommy Bridewell could be on for a bit of a result here. He's looking very good indeed.
9th in the championship at the moment. That's on uncorrected points, so this would do his championship no harm at all. You know, nice podium or better.
Brother Ollie last year finished 6th in this race.
Bridewell's go well at Knockhill, obviously.
Like
he passed on a few tips.
Mind you, last year it was probably raining.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, there's a few moments out of the chicane last year in the rain, that's for sure.
There really was, as soon as they got to that paint.
Brendan Roberts trying to squeeze a bit on the brakes, stay off that paint.
He's just got to get the exits so right, hasn't he?
Yeah,
mind you, that time he kept off the paint completely. It was John Boy Lee that found himself running across it.
One thing that does worry me is that hard on the clutch out of that hairpin in 2nd gear. I mean, it's a testament to the Yamaha R6. Oh, a bit wide there.
Yeah, that's let John Boy off the hook a bit. Yep, through comes Tommy Bridewell. Nice ride, nice move. So Brendan Roberts just Tommy Bridewell, fastest lap of the race has just gone to him. So Tommy Bridewell, 54.59. Good time and making progress. And still a long way to go in this race.
Yeah, well, John Boy Lee is one of the smallest and lightest riders in the race. Brendan Roberts could be one of the heaviest. I know he's up there in the sort of 12 stone, 13 stone bracket, and that will make a difference. Probably
worth noting, of course, that it's not just the power to weight ratio, you've also got to stop a bit of extra weight as well.
That's true.
Which is why
that's something Brendan didn't do into turn 1.
Exactly my point. So up the hill again, John Boy Lee, followed now by Tommy Bridewell.
Tommy Bridewell, best lap so far, 54.599 on lap 8.
Yeah. John Boy Lee just put in his personal best of the race at 54.7. So these guys circulating around here consistently quick. But John Boy Lee is looking pretty dominant at the moment. Although the gap has been bridged by Tommy Bridewell. A good Clark curve and a good braking manoeuvre down at the hairpin. We'll see Tommy Bridewell on top of the rear wheel of your race leader.
Our 2 dark horses, Adam Jenkinson and Mark Pollock, 8th and 9th at the moment.
I would be disappointed if I was them in that particular situation. Ian Lowry in 6th place at the moment as well, one to watch. David Anthony there in 5th place, but still Matthew Whitman we've got to keep an eye on. Another fastest lap from Tommy Bridewell, 54.57. So just a couple of hundredths of a second quicker.
Doing a good job and keeping it neat and tidy, not running wide.
He's right there with John Boy Lee now. John Boy Lee,
he is.
Well, this is his first competitor, isn't it, really? Tommy Bridewell.
John Boy Lee 5th in the championship at the moment. Oh, I saw Tommy Bridewell in his first moment so far there. A little bit of a right squidgy moment out of Clark's.
Just had it spinning very slightly.
That just shows you how much on the limit he is.
Just over half distance, of course, at the moment. So still a long, long way in this race to go yet.
There really is, and with temperatures up, track temperatures up, tyres are going to get some hammer today, and they will start to deteriorate as the race progresses.
You read my mind exactly.
Which, just when we saw that sideways moment from Tommy Bridewell, you just remember how it all works.
Great training ground for these youngsters.
It is great. On standard bikes, no modifications whatsoever. Apart from the exhaust can there. And of course take the lights off them. Put on some... They're allowed steering dampers. Put steering dampers on and take off the original bodywork.
Brendan Roberts in 3rd place has responded. He's just put in his fastest lap at the race and closed down the others by 0.2 of a second. So Brendan Roberts in 3rd place on bike 42 is looking to close these two down if he can. But still 78, John Boy Lee that leads with 18, Tommy Bridewell. Oh, out on the dirt.
Using the paint and the dirt.
Not a lot of grip out there. +0, it says on his board, because they know that Tommy Bridewell is closing in on John Boy Lee.
Pressure's on. Now this is a big part of racing, dealing with the pressure. You're watching your pit signals and you see that someone's getting closer as much as you're trying to pull away. That's a big part of it, is dealing with the pressure. You have to keep your eye on Tommy Bridewell now. 54.8 on that last lap. Again, Brendan Roberts the fastest lap, 54.7.
John Boy Lee, 78 on the Paddock Car Electric sponsored Yamaha. Wayside Racing sponsor Tommy Bridewell, like they did his brother Ollie on this bike last year. Bouncing it into the hairpin. I tell you what, Tommy Bridewell looks very, very smooth and tidy.
He's looking great. He certainly looks comfortable.
But all the time, Brendan Roberts
is there.
He's thereabouts. I'm just looking at the time. Again, Brendan Roberts puts in another fastest lap. That's a personal lap, fastest lap for him, 54.7.
Like Billy McConnell, Brendan Roberts is a very smart rider. He thinks about things. He can. I'm sure he's trying to get the maximum grip out of these tyres, just sussing different lines out.
Oh,
John
yes.
Boy Lee can't do that.
No, he can't. Give the boy an opportunity and through will come Tommy Bridewell. Well, that could be the break that Tommy Bridewell really needed, because John Boy Lee now might just hold up Brendan Roberts for a moment or two. Tommy Bridewell looks, to me, like he's a little bit faster around this racetrack than John Boy Lee in the last couple of laps, but not with the pace that would have got him in front of John Boy Lee unless John Boy Lee made a mistake. And of course, in the end, he has.
See if John Boy Lee can get in Tommy's slipstream here on the start-finish straight.
I don't think so. It's too far out already.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say Tommy Bridewell was a big lad, would you?
Not at all. Yeah. Coming out of Scotsman there, John Boy Lee just
kept it pinned.
A little bit wide on the paint, and Tommy Bridewell's down the inside.
Still.
Brendan Roberts just stuck in. He's another fastest lap, 54.691.
He's just getting quicker and quicker. They're all personal best. Still the fastest guy out on the racetrack is Tommy Bridewell at 54.5.
Yeah.
But you've got to be impressed with a man that can consistently better his lap time, lap on lap. And Brendan Roberts is that man at the moment.
It's interesting, Brendan Roberts said when he was sitting on the grid talking to Lee that he was really nervous, and that for me is always a good sign. Any rider that's sitting there full of nerves is in for a good day normally.
The laps are slotting by. Bridewell, Lee and Roberts, you can see them. Ian Lowry's up to 4th place now. David Anthony in 5th. Matthew Whitman has dropped down to 6th place. Connor Cummins is in 7th place. Mark Pollock in 8th place. Adam Jenkinson in 9th place. And number 82, I think that's Ben Castleton, is down there in 10th place at the moment.
Top 3 certainly pulling away from the bunch. 4 seconds in front of Ian Lowry at the moment.
I can't believe how consistent all of the top 10 times are, you know. In fact, the top 6 are all within a 10th of a second of each other. They're all rotating around here at similar pace.
Back marker coming into Clark's, that's number 35. Tom Dean, TCR Motorsport.
He's got enough time to get past him through his though. Tom Dean moves over.
Cost them a little bit of time, I reckon.
Yeah, you're right.
Look at John Boy Lee, he's right with him. thinking about a move on the brakes.
A hop,
Both
skip and a
guys.
jump.
John Boy Lee's underneath them, nearly.
With the emphasis on nearly. Don't know why that amused me. Tommy Bridewell still the race leader from John Boy Lee, who nearly got underneath the hair.
Nearly gave it off to Brendan Roberts.
Yeah, indeed. I've had many a nearly manoeuvre in my time. Brendan Roberts still third.
He is wide out of Scotsman, isn't he?
Yeah, every time. And he's not fast and wide out of Scotsman. I don't understand too much.
More back markers. Brendan down the inside at Clark's.
Oh, I can't believe he's done that. He didn't.
He's having a look.
He's having another go at it.
Round the long way. Yeah, that worked. That's worked. That's
Look,
worked.
Elbows are out. It's
all on the
handbags
brakes,
at 10
all on the
paces.
brakes.
Wow.
Bit of discretion there on Brendan Roberts' part. Maybe not a bad idea.
Yeah, John Boy Lee was looking very aggressive indeed there.
Yeah.
Fisticuffs at dawn.
It's looking like he meant it.
Lap 17 of 22. These two absolutely at it. Still out front, Tommy Bridewell. John Boy Lee on 78. Just
back
slipping
marker.
past number 9, Brendan Fairbrother.
It's not really where Brendan wanted to catch him.
Brendan Fairbrother has messed up Brendan Roberts. Still only lap 18. Enough time
enough
for these
time
guys
there.
to have a real sort out still. Although I've got to say, Tommy Bridewell's been let off the hook a little bit by all of that. Bridewell goes through on 18. 78 is John Boy Lee in second place. Still Brendan Roberts on 42 in third. And just a bit of work to do now after getting caught out by the back marker coming down into the Scotsman. Number 82, Ben Castleton, we saw a moment ago. He's now retired to the pits. Oh, I tell you what, he likes a bit of dirt, doesn't he, old Tommy?
Bit of paint, bit of dirt.
Mind you, I suppose if it's dry dirt, it's got some
Another,
grip to it.
Another back marker there, another lap rider.
Oh, Brendan Roberts is right there with John Boy Lee. He certainly looked like he was meaningful up into Seat. And again, just here, down through the Scotsman. Just looks like John Boy Lee struggles a little bit through that series of turns.
Brendan seems to set him up here, holds back at the chicane, then gets a good drive through.
Yeah, and they've got to get past 43, who is Lance Cronshaw on the Bob Wright, Keith Dixon Racing R6.
Should get him into the hairpin.
It should be all right. Should be fairly clean. Here comes Brendan. Brendan's going to bounce up the inside.
No, he's not. John Boy Lee is good on the brakes, and I think, like you said, just his weight helps him. Definitely can get that thing stopped a bit easier.
And he pulls it down lovely and tight as well.
That was a nice move.
Yeah.
You could just see that a few tenths of a second here and there. Brendan loses out.
Still out front, 18, Tommy Bridewell. We're on lap 20 of the 22.
These two are making me nervous.
Yeah, it's fast becoming do or die time, isn't it? We're at the Scotsman. This is where Brendan Roberts is clearly faster than John Boy Lee.
I know, it's not a passing place, though, is it? And
well,
John Boy Lee's good on the brakes.
Depends if your name's Jonathan Ray. Still up into the chicane. Through Clark. Now onto Hizzies.
Yeah, Brendan can pull John Boy Lee back there, but John Boy Lee is strong through Clark's and into the hairpin.
David Anthony's just put in another fastest personal lap of his. Oh, I tell you what, this is where it's all going to happen, isn't it?
That's the closest he's been there.
Yeah, I think so. Lap 21 and 22 coming up as soon as Tommy Bridewell crosses the line. He does. These two follow him over the hill onto Seat corner.
I reckon he's thinking about passing into Scotsman.
You might well be right there, but I tell you what, that is going to be tight.
Or maybe down the hill.
Yeah, maybe down the hill.
Maybe not.
What's down the hill? It's Butchers still, isn't it? Still called
Yeah, still Butchers.
And then it's the John R. Weir chicane that we've just come through, newly named.
To Clark's.
We're at Clark's now.
Second gear for these boys here.
Actually, I'm amazed it's as slow as that.
Well, it's the gearing on these bikes, they're quite high gearing as a road bike. The second gear, they're actually using second gear at the hairpin is between first and second, but they're having to use second and slip the clutch. Brendan was wide there, too wide.
Well, be interesting to see if he gets any drive as we come up to take the last lap. Tommy Bridewell is over the line now. There he is. 18 Tommy Bridewell has been absolutely outstanding here. He waited his time, he waited his chance, and he moved ahead with clear style. What about these two, though? It ain't over until the flag's out.
It's got to be on the brakes, so I'm not sure Brendan can get that thing stopped like John Boy Lee can, unless he's got something up his sleeve. He's going to try and get a drive out here.
Through the chicane.
Let's just hope he doesn't do a Billy McConnell. Yeah, he's close.
Up towards Clark, and this is where he had a bit of a thrust a lap or two ago.
He needs to bolt himself on here and just hope he can get down the inside.
Don't know whether he's close enough, you know, that just looks like a bit too much. It might be our camera angle.
Long way. He's thinking down the outside, and that's a long way around. That's not going to happen. He's thinking about it.
No. It's all down to whether somebody makes a mistake, and I've got to say that John Boy Lee's looked pretty good, and we know he's got the grunt up the hill. Over the line comes Tommy Bridewell to take the win, the superb win for Tommy Bridewell then. He will be ecstatic about that, and deservedly some Boy Lee. So there it is, bit of a burnout coming. That's what we like to see. Don't get a rebate on those tyres once they're used, so you might as well use them right. The Metabo British Supersports boys, but that's the result of the Virgin Mobile Cup. Tommy Bridewell taking the win by a dominant 2 seconds as far as this class is concerned. John Boy Lee in second place, Brendan Roberts third, David Anthony, another Australian there in fourth place, Ian Lowry, Matthew Whitman, I should say, in sixth place. We'll have to look up his name and pay attention to him because he looked very good indeed today. Connor Cummins